Hi,
Oh,
welcome to Smosh Mouth. I'm Shayne.
Hi, and welcome back to Smosh Mouth. I'm Amanda, and
hi.
okay,
Welcome back to Smosh Mouth.
this is Chance.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And this is Chance. And today we are talking all about this year, 2023. It's coming to a close. It's the holiday season. It's almost Christmas.
And we want to
Around the
do a
corner.
full recap of the biggest moments, the dumbest moments, the worst moments of 2023, whether that's Smosh or on the internet.
Yeah.
Or in our lives.
Our journeys this year, because it's been both a long year, but it also feels like one of the shortest years of my life.
So quick.
It
So
feels
fast.
super quick. But also I think back on like March and I'm like, that was
Years ago.
That was 5 years ago.
That was, a million years ago.
Real quick, just for you in your own life, your own personal journey, how was this year?
This year was wild for me. I mean, I got married.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's crazy.
I got married this year,
Okay.
which is intense.
Okay, boring.
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 Okay, lame.
I got married. I went on a honeymoon.
Where did you go on a honeymoon?
Well, we called it a mini moon, but it was 10 days.
That's not many, girl.
A mini moon.
We drove through Northern California.
That's cool.
Did you
Uh,
Redwoods?
We did. We went up to Humboldt.
You took the one?
We went up to we took the one. We went up to Humboldt. We went up to Monterey Bay. We went up to wine country. We went into some mineral baths in Vichy.
The one is the
So
road
cool.
that goes all the way along the beach.
Yes, but remember, we went in May, and that was when the heavy rains were. So Big Sur, the one, was completely closed.
Oh, no.
So we're parts of the one that we couldn't do, but we did do Cambria.
Do you see them seals that are always fortin'?
Yeah, we saw the Fort and Seals.
Is that the elephant seals?
Yeah,
That's so
and
cool.
We went to Hearst Castle. That was my first time.
Hearst
Who's
Castle?
You know, the movie Citizen Kane
Yeah.
is based on William Hearst.
I don't know that. I'm not a
Inventor
huge
of a-
nerd.
William Hearst is one of the first guys to start the newspaper. Or that's not a good fact.
The newspaper.
He started one of the biggest newspapers, and
Okay.
he took over his dad's cattle farm. He's the guy who had the mansion literally created, architect, built by one woman. Like literally, she didn't build the whole thing, but she was the architect genius behind everything that is Hearst Castle. Hearst Castle is right by Cambria. It used to have zebras and peacocks and all these crazy
hell?
animals on the land. Now it's like a park.
And he hunted them?
He didn't hunt them, no.
Oh.
No,
he
he
kept them
hunted
free.
people.
Oh.
But no, he would have huge parties in his castle because his castle was all different parts of like chapels, Roman Empire, all flown in or brought in from different parts of the world and basically puzzled together in this huge castle. He has a pool made out of little pieces of gold. It is the most insane
I'd
thing.
never heard of
William
this.
Hearst, Citizen Kane is about him, and
How do you swim in it?
he used to have big parties with Charlie Chaplin, freaking.
And this is Northern California.
yeah. So this is Cambria.
I don't know where Cambria is.
It's central. So Cambria is right on top of Big Sur,
Okay.
north
Right.
of Pismo
So
Beach.
just kind of a random location.
It's on the coast. It's a random location, but it was where his great grandfather had a dairy farm, and there's
Oh.
lots of stories about him. He basically jump started one of the biggest female silent acting careers.
Cool.
What was her name? Mimi? Anyways, we went on a tour through it, and what was great, we used the term newlyweds 24/7, so
Oh,
we
yeah.
got free shit all the time.
Oh,
I
course.
still
so
try to use it,
smart.
but some people are like,
There's a
You don't
different
have the
energy.
glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
and
glow.
so we did the tour, and normally it's like 100 people on a bus, and Gardy really wanted to see it because he loves architecture. The woman gave us a hint. She's like, if you do the one 10 minutes after the normal time, there's no one on that tour. So we got a private tour.
Wow.
It was sick. You should go.
That's awesome.
By one of his descendants.
No, that would
cool,
be
though.
insane.
That would be cool, though.
That would be insane. No, by this woman who was literally like a mini Helen.
Mirren?
No, who's the woman who was in Succession? Anyways, this is now just going off.
the
The one who talks like this, who's in
I
Succession.
love her. She doesn't
too.
talk like that.
Anyways.
So you went on your mini moon.
So, yeah, marriage, mini moon. My husband is now a citizen
Woo!
of the U.S.,
Bravo.
which is huge. So that means he can get his passport, and I'm very proud of him. And
Ooh, what's the first place you're gonna go out of the country with him?
I don't know.
Ooh,
Whoa.
Maybe I want
Mexico City.
maybe Mexico City. I really want to go to
Cool.
Portugal.
Cool.
Okay.
I really want to go to Ireland,
There's a lot of
Cool.
places.
Italy.
There is a lot of
Belarus.
places you could go.
So those are my biggest things that have happened this year. But I just feel like there's more. Oh, other than Smosh Mouth.
That's true. You
Smosh
started
Mouth
podcast.
This
is
also,
huge.
Can you believe this didn't start till halfway through the year?
Halfway through the year, and we are on episode 27.
This is 26.
We are on episode 26, and
Or the 26th week of doing it. It might be episode 25 or something. I don't know the exact
So, yeah.
number, but
It's up there.
we've been doing
Smosh Mouth.
it for a while now.
so my career has shifted, and also, yeah.
How
I went to a wedding.
I did go to a wedding.
Two weddings?
I went to one wedding. I went to Kimmy's wedding, which was really cool.
Oh yeah, Kimmy got married right after me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. My year was interesting. I think this year I started off this year with a lot of determination. It's been a bit of a journey because I started off this year like, okay, this is the year where I'm going to get my shit together. And it was one of those like on a very personal level of like just my commitment to things and persistence. And I made a bunch of calendars and things of like, okay, I'm going to form new habits this year. I got really perfectionist, and I started off and I was really diligent about it. And I held to resolutions longer than I ever have.
Okay.
But
Good.
I also found myself having a bit of a struggle then, like months in, where I'm like, wait, I've been really consistent with all this, but I also found myself like, oh, am I giving in to my perfectionism by doing this every day? By like but am I doing this out of want and desire, or am I doing this out of like this feeling of obligation and that I need to accomplish something in order to feel happy? And so that was kind of the whole splits journey this year. And I was really truly doing it, and I have fallen off a little bit on specifically the splits, not on stretching and stuff. Like I
both metaphorically.
yeah, and physically, but I don't know. So I was struggling with that, but I really stuck with it, and I'd say overall this year I have stayed committed to things more than ever. It was tough because the first half of the year felt like one year, and then the second half of the year felt like a completely
100%.
different year.
There was a
Like,
divide.
What's also weird about this year is the first half of this year, although was really fun here at Smosh, it was a time that I don't know if you guys saw or knew, but behind the scenes, I was like, I don't know if this job is going to be around much longer. I was just like, I am feeling like
I felt that
it's
too.
struggling a little bit. We are really proud of the work we're doing, but we're just not seeing the results.
Yep.
And it was just very like murky of the like messages I was getting behind the scenes where I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? What's going on with Mythical? You know,
Pre-Anthony
I didn't know.
buyout was a totally
so-
different year.
So there was like the weeks leading up to Anthony coming back where I didn't know Anthony was returning. I didn't know about the news.
Yeah.
But Ian kind of was like he was being kind of weird because obviously
He was
knew
being kinda weird.
He knew what was about to happen, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So he was trying to keep it secret.
Yeah.
And I truly thought that we were about to go under again.
I thought we were too.
I was like, okay, this is the end. And so also, I think a lingering thought in my head the first half of this year was like, what should I do? What should my plan be? Like, what should I be? What should I be planning on doing moving forward? Where should I go with my career?
You're
And so
reassessing
it
your
was
whole
so
life.
intense all the time, and I couldn't stop thinking about that all the time.
100% was doing the exact same thing. I'm like Googling who are the Try Guys. Can I be a Try Guy?
So what was-
Is Mr. Beast hiring?
Yeah.
But then the news broke, and I had been so in that mind space of like, I'm screwed, that even when Anthony returned, that there's that footage of him walking in and telling us, you can tell on my face that I still am in that zone where I'm kind of like, oh, but I was still like, what?
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until like a couple weeks after where I suddenly was like, oh shit, like
Back.
this is better than ever. And this has truly been like these past couple months have been Smosh at a peak that I
Smosh
have
Prime.
not experienced. It is Smosh Prime.
Agree.
And truly, like, views don't matter to an extent of what we are creating matters, that what we make is what we're proud of and that we're having fun doing it. But the success of the channel and the audience that we're reaching and how much we're entertaining our audience does matter. It is still a business. And so to know there's a comfort level of like, okay, people are really loving what we're watching and we're reaching more audience and we're gaining subscribers. It does make you feel secure.
Mm-hmm.
And then that security allows you to take bigger risks.
Yeah.
And you're going, okay, great, let's try crazier
That's
stuff.
so true.
And that's where I feel like we're in a place where we're really taking risks and we're having fun. And we're having fun on a level that we've never had before. And so this year's been weird in that way.
Yeah.
So
It's been split.
it feels like 2 different years. So the first half of the year was one thing, second half of the year was
Yeah.
another one. But it has been a personal journey, and but there are a lot of things I'm proud of myself this year that I feel I've accomplished.
Mhm.
But yeah, Chance,
Yeah.
your year.
Your year. Tell
I
us.
also felt the divide. I started off the year so committed to my goals, and I think halfway through this year, I had the realization that I have made habits out of the things that I needed to make habits out of,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
What
yeah,
do you
like
mean?
Do you have an
like
example?
I'm gonna go to the gym 5 times a week.
Yes.
And if I don't, I'm gonna feel not bad for it, but be like, oh, you missed, and I'll be like, oh, I didn't even think that like I missed. It was like, oh, I have to go, and like
Yeah.
it's like, kind of like the obligation that you were talking about, but
Mhm.
I don't feel bad for breaking it. I'm just like, it's okay. You
Right.
can miss a day. You're
Right.
okay. You're not gonna be
Right.
punished
You're just
for
more
that.
intense on those goals.
Just more intense on those goals,
Mhm.
and it's like they're just not even goals. They're just like, I'm going to go. Like,
Yep.
that's the
Yeah.
standard.
I do. Like I said, I didn't complete the splits. I have stretched more this year than I think I stretched in like the past 5 years combined.
So good for you.
I
It's
know.
so good
the problem,
for you.
The problem simultaneously, as we've already discussed on this podcast, is I also have gotten to some of the best shape of my life. Like I have been working out harder than ever. Partially, part of it was for Anthony's funeral roast. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be the chosen in this vampire gear. I want to try to bulk up for this because I think that'd be fun. And I did gain weight for it. Like I genuinely got into good shape for it. But that simultaneously fucks up your flexibility because
Yeah.
you're kind of packing it on. But I think in a lot of ways I have committed in a lot of ways that I hadn't in previous years. And so yeah, so you're working out 5 days a week.
So I'm working out a lot. I took a couple sober months.
That's
Very
fantastic.
good.
I did that too.
Yeah, you did.
Nice.
We were
It
never
felt
on the
great.
same. I don't think we were ever on the same month.
It was more like springtime that I took like 2 months off,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I did feel incredible.
Yeah.
And yes, so
Yeah.
sorry,
That's
go on.
so
I keep
much-
interrupting you because
No.
I keep relating.
You're totally fine. I also said this year, I said for this 2023, I was not going to any weddings, and I only went to 2.
Only went to
The year
2.
before I went to 6.
You went to 6 the year
That's
before, but also
insane.
your outfits
every
were
single
serving.
every single wedding had a different outfit
Ugh.
completely. The suit, the bow tie, the
Yes.
shoes, every single
You
one.
went to a wedding in Miami,
Yeah.
Texas.
This year I only went to Guatemala and
Oh,
Laguna.
only.
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 So okay, so you went to Miami, Texas.
Miami, Texas twice, Dallas and Austin. I went to
Hey, yeehaw.
Yeehaw, Chicago.
Okay, but this year you went to Guatemala.
This year I went to Guatemala and Laguna. Where'd I go?
Oh my God.
That's pretty cool.
Gorgeous.
Guatemala
A
sounds
lot of
cool.
crazy
Big
places.
weddings,
Oh,
small?
somewhere random in Lake fucking not
Mead,
not Lake Mead.
Tahoe.
No, it was in like from Wisconsin or some shit.
Oh, Lake Superior,
No, it wasn't a big one. It was just
Finger
random.
Lakes.
I won't think of it right now.
a shitty lake.
So those are
was a
your.
shitty-
Are those the goals are your kind of like biggest
Wedding? Yeah.
exciting?
Oh, I had my own wedding for my birthday party.
Yes.
Oh shit.
That's right. I married
You got married to
myself.
yourself.
So married life has been great.
Yes, you
does
got married to yourself.
I did, and
What
I
made you-
recommend it for everyone
what
because
made
I
you
went
think-
to so many weddings.
So you were like, I'm gonna marry myself
For
now.
my birthday party in May, Gemini. I was like, I'm gonna marry I'm gonna marry myself, and I'm gonna make all my friends come to my fucking wedding.
Yeah.
We had rehearsal dinner the night before.
I
Oh,
love that.
that's
look
actually amazing.
Snatched in my dress.
Yeah, I saw a picture.
That's really awesome.
Shayne, did I look good in my dress?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look snatched.
You didn't say anything.
Sorry. Yeah, you look
You look snatched.
snatched.
Damn. Okay, that's amazing. So those are like our big parts of the year.
Yeah.
Should we go to kind of our like
Side chicks.
Side
should we go to our
chicks?
side chicks?
Yeah.
Which we don't really want to talk about, but they're there.
Oh, that's funny. No. Yeah, we don't want to talk about them, but they are there.
Side chicks, SAG was on a strike for
Oh
about
my
5 months, and
God.
people were on picket lines,
That-
and
That's-
Fran
that
Drescher
was-
sent me a voicemail every single month.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, thanks,
It's funny
Fran.
because I didn't feel the results of the strike like other people did
Mhm.
because I feel like our content, we were like not really affected.
Yeah, and
We still get to be
commercials and
super
stuff.
creative.
Yeah.
And on live shows, you get to work with a lot more people who aren't usually there.
Mhm.
And so like at the live theater that we do shows at, me and Angela, we got to see like a lot of celebrities like come and do shows and play with us that are
Yes.
never like they're alumni of the theater, but
Mhm.
they don't come back anymore really.
There's a plus side to the strike.
There
I feel like
is.
there was more artists out there who were like, I want who reminded you that they still love to perform and they
Yeah.
still love seeing audience members and they still want to go out there and perform. And
Yeah.
I love that about this city because the theaters are so accessible
Yes.
in that sense. You
If
know,
you live in LA and you're not going to comedy shows, you're doing something wrong.
I
That's
kind of
true.
agree with you on that because there's just so
I mean,
there's
it's
so
the
much
comedians that you see on TV, and
It's
you get to see them in a live
right
fucking
there.
show right there.
Yes.
And you don't break the bank going to a show.
Yes.
I
What?
used to go to improv shows every week. I haven't gone
Oh.
much because I'm
that's too much.
tired.
You're tired.
I'm tired. I'm like, I get done with this, and I'm like, do I want to go
Yeah.
all the way there and see a
It's
show? I mean, it
hard.
would be once I'm there, it's really fun.
It's a
Yeah.
commitment.
But-
It's a commitment. I think if you are already doing improv outside, you're already like, oh, I'll go to your show, or like, I'm already there, or like, I feel like
Actually,
you-
any city. If you live in any city, there's probably improv.
I was curious though.
Definitely.
There definitely is.
I feel like it could be even more fun to
Yes.
see in other cities. I'm so curious. Definitely let us know in the comments if you've gone to comedy shows or improv shows in what your city is
Yeah.
and what the show was like.
yes,
Because I'm so curious, like what an improv show in friggin' Arkansas is like.
Sure.
But I mean, you think about it. This is the tough thing, is that
Sure.
if people are really into improv and comedy, where they
Yeah.
want to do it professionally, they are probably going to move to one of the cities where that's like a big industry.
But there's so many people that probably don't, and they're probably so good,
Well-
and they just do improv
think-
in Arkansas. You don't.
Well, something I think
Yeah.
about too is like if I ever am like, oh, I am done doing this as a career,
Mm-hmm.
but I still love performing.
Yeah.
I still want to do comedy.
Mhm.
If I lived in some other state, I would still probably join
100%.
a theater and do it and go all out because I'm like, yeah, there's no stakes anymore. I'm just doing this for
would be
fun.
like, this show was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I would want to go insane
Yeah.
on it.
Mhm.
I think that'd be a blast. I wonder how many people are getting into performing in that way now that social media is like how it is.
Mm.
Where you can just kind of perform on your phone
But I
all the
think-
time
I-
and reach a wider audience. I don't know. Like,
I feel
are
like
we
social
seeing?
media took over and people were like, theaters are dead. I remember feeling like theaters were dying. I don't know when that was. Well, definitely during COVID. But like, I remember that feeling and feeling really nervous about that. But I think it's made a comeback in a way of like, people are on social media. Yes, they can perform there, but now they want to see them in person.
They want to
So
see them
these
in person.
People on social media
Trevor Wallace
come to perform. And also, I
Yeah.
think it's very clear when you are on social media in front of your camera to go see them in person and see what they're like, because I think it's different.
100%.
It completely is a
100%.
different.
Oh,
Some
totally.
people cannot carry over. They do not
No.
translate from their phone to the live stage.
They
It's like,
can't. And when they do and they translate and they
Ah.
kill it, you're like, you are a god.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
some people cannot translate.
yeah.
And
It's really exciting when you see the people that do.
yeah.
I saw one that didn't, and
They
were-
This is their worst moment of the year.
yeah, this is their worst moment.
Yeah.
But they do impressions, and they had a segment in a live show, and they couldn't get it. They couldn't wheel you into the impression. They couldn't set up the stakes, and so it just did not work for them.
It's brutal. I think a lot of people rely on multiple takes, edits, like music cuts, and I think that's why I love live theater, because you cannot hide, you cannot edit, and you really have to push outside of your comfort zone. I think that type of training is the best.
Or you hire a director. You're like, I have this segment. I can pay you this much money. Like, can you direct me, because I can't see what I'm doing because I'm doing the thing.
But I think views give them a boost of confidence.
Yeah, and they don't have
views are immediate
validation,
and it gives them that confidence. And I think,
it's such a different thing though, because on TikTok, not only can you edit and do as many takes of one post, but a lot of TikTokers, I mean, this is the case from my TikTok and stuff, you just kind of keep posting. It's like, oh, that didn't hit, whatever. The next one might. The next one might. Oh, you can have a bunch of duds in a row, and then you have the one that hits, and everyone's like, oh my God, you did that thing. That's awesome. Whereas when you go do a live show, it's like, all right, if this doesn't, if not only if the whole thing doesn't hit, but it's like, oh, you might hit for 5 minutes straight, and then if you have a minute of dead, that's awful. It's high pressure.
Eternity.
Performing in front of a live audience is fucking rough.
But I will say those moments of silence are what you need to build up your character. Like, you need an entire audience of people where you think it's going to kill and it doesn't, and they do not laugh. It sucks. It feels awful, but we need that as performers, because then we stop performing for laughs. Then you actually just perform for that feeling deep inside that you're like, I'm fucking clicked in. And I think that people miss out on that. I think that people are so hungry for the laughs when it's actually like, don't fucking feed off the laughs right now. You gotta feed off the energy.
That silence just tells you that one didn't work, and that's okay.
Or they're listening.
But sometimes it's that one didn't work.
Or usually it's one didn't work.
Yeah. Or I didn't communicate that joke correctly. There's probably a better way to get to the place that I'm trying to get you to.
Exactly. And I love the friend that goes, it's because they're listening. And you're like, no, it didn't.
No, it's not.
I think, though, that's something I feel like that Chosen and Sarah Christ episode we did a few weeks back. There were moments when we were doing it where I was like, you're not trying to make me laugh. You're not trying to say something funny. You are just fully locked in on this character, and you're just living right now.
It's my favorite place to be, and I can't tell myself to get there. Something happens. I push through a point of where I shut down the chatter, and then something happens where I click in. And I don't even know. I'm just there.
Oh my God, maybe it's like a past life and she's just taking over.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. I love that. Or future life.
I mean, most of my characters are like different versions of me. But when I did my solo show, that's what it was about. It was about because I get kind of controlling over my work and how good it needs to be. And my solo show was all about trying to release control. So I just would force myself to do characters based on what the audience chose for me. And many times I wouldn't get laughs. And I had to fucking just keep going.
Yeah.
And when I had those moments where I was so tapped in, I literally didn't even need to think about the character. All the thoughts were coming to me because my brain was like, you good? Here you go. All the character ideas. And that, it's the best feeling I could ever have. It's like that tapped in, like, I'm in. I'm so in. I'm so present right now. And I can't even hear the laughs.
Yeah.
Because I'm so just cushy in this character.
I was trying to, and I was very inspired by it in the moment in that episode, but also just thinking about it with my character, The Chosen. I realize, like, sometimes when I'm doing that character, I'm like, I'm not feeling as like it's hitting that hard right now. And I think it's moments where I'm trying to be funny, and then it just loses all its steam. The point of, like, when my characters are at their best is when I'm like, oh, it's not a joke. I'm dead serious. This is real life, and I'm in this.
That is the definition of a character.
Such a cartoonish character, but I'm like, no, I'm fully what's really going on. And then you're just living it and you're role playing as it.
And that's what's
and it becomes
funny.
so fun. And then it's actually so funny because you're like, wait, you're not serious, are you? It's like, yeah, I am.
Yes.
And that's what's funny.
They believe,
You know?
they are literally living and breathing as that character. That is what Amanda, is personally laughing at. I struggle to laugh at the jokes where I go, huh, clever. I'm not really laughing.
I'm not laughing.
I laugh when someone is so deep. It's truth.
That was you as Mr. Peanut
Yes.
forever ago. That's my favorite character you've ever
You
played.
as Mr.
Me too.
Peanut is so
Did
good.
we? Holy shit.
What?
You know what just occurred to me?
What?
That was a year ago.
We wrapped. We were still filming Bath Legacy this year.
No way.
Oh.
Yes.
In March, in February.
We were
Our
we were
year
filming that
of
into this
Smosh,
year.
I will say.
We were filming that into this year. How crazy!
Our year of Smosh has been so wild. Like, I would say the highlights for me in Smosh genuinely would be D&D,
Yeah.
Smosh Mouth, and literally getting to know you and Angela and Arasha like so much more. I felt like VidCon just made us go like
100%.
So
Oh my god, I
true.
forgot about
I-
VidCon.
I know, because the year is the longest.
I it is crazy to think back at the beginning of this year. I hardly knew. I think I had gotten a chance to know you more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Because you started to like come around
Mhm.
last like a year and a half ago. But I feel like I look back to the beginning of this year and I'm like, I didn't really know Angela or Arasha that well. But it's crazy because now I feel like I know them so well.
Yeah.
But it's been such an intense.
They also
like,
found their identities within Smosh.
I mean, Angela, I feel like
Yes.
Angela and Arasha, but like in such different ways.
yeah, it was
But
definitely Secret Sith that got Arasha her.
Arasha
And
has
Let's
her
Do
own
This.
thing.
Nice.
And
And then what was Angela's?
Cat food.
It was cat food, probably.
food.
Cat food. I feel like that was just like the beginning,
And people were like,
and then it was just up from there.
What was yours?
uh,
Mr. Peanut?
No,
But that wasn't this year.
no. I actually do think D&D and was
I think
really where
Bath
people
and D&D.
saw. Yeah, I think Bath Legacy and D&D.
Yeah.
People really started to see how much you commit to those types of games and how serious you are about them in a good way. I just think overall it's a general thing,
yeah.
and how you guys work with each other. The dynamics nowadays are so funny. I mean, you and Angela, it's like I love how it's when people will comment Angela, and we know that it's in your voice.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Like it's like Angela. Like
It's so funny, the disappointment.
It's so true. Yeah, those are my top favorite things of like the Smosh year.
Yeah.
What about you?
Those were, I mean, does VidCon count? 'Cause
VidCon counts.
VidCon definitely counts.
That was your
was
first.
That was a
VidCon.
journey.
That was my first VidCon. It was
Yeah.
like summer camp.
And it was also the
In
first
a
VidCon in
hotel.
Hawaii. No, yeah, or no, it wasn't the first VidCon.
Summer camp in a
while, but-
hotel though.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, all of our rooms are like adjacent, close to each other, and then there's all the lobbies and get all that free
Yeah.
shit and do all those fun things,
It's a pretty cool vibe.
activities.
It's a fun
And
time.
then at 5 o'clock, it's happy hour and everybody starts drinking.
Yep.
There's other YouTubers there, and you're just like, who are these crazy
It's
people?
so fun. The rooms are my favorite at VidCon.
Yeah.
The rooms are, oh my God, I have a jaw drop. I'll tell you at the end.
All right.
Tell us at the end.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a crazy year, man.
What are your tops?
Top
for
moments from
Smosh?
this year. I will say, the show is gone, and I highly recommend people to go back and watch this series. But Let's Do This did have a couple just things
I
that I was
loved
like,
Let's Do
this
This.
is psychotic.
They were so
And I think it was fun because I was like, at that time, this is earlier this year, I was like, it doesn't feel like this is all working. But
I was in
It's-
Courtney's
I'm having
car
some of the
in a
most
tarp
fun.
trying to eat mac and cheese.
Let me tell you, it was so much fun.
was
we were
so
having
much fun.
some of the most fun was being had at the beginning of this year, despite the fact that behind the scenes, some of us were kind of like, this is probably coming to a
I
close soon.
think there's
But
a
maybe
causality
that
there. Yeah, it
contributes to
was.
it.
We were like, okay, it. Let's
We're just gonna
have
have some of the
fucking
most fun we're gonna have.
You're having so much
But
fun.
since Anthony returned, and I think we are just being a little crazier. I do think some of the best work we've ever made is happening, and something that I am really personally proud of is like Sniper chess was a dumbass pitch that I was like, I just threw it to Alex and Spencer, and I was like, we should do this on the games channel. What if we played chess, but 2 people had dart guns, and they're trying to shoot pieces off, and you just have to keep playing the game of chess? And we're like, let's do it. And then we actually turned it into a really fun episode, and it was really stupid, and it was great.
I love
And
it.
then we have the Love is Blind episode.
Love is blind.
Oh, so
every
funny.
episode we're
showering.
putting out is crazy.
I also think that this year, since so much crazy stuff happened and obviously life things happened, I really think that we have really sunken into our personalities and our POV on who we are in the channel. I feel like before when we were doing main channel, now that main channel is just Ian and Anthony, now that we get to do games and pit, it's not a script, it's just our personalities. So now I feel like it's when people look at our cast, they're like, oh yeah, I see how all of them fit, how all of them mesh, and I love that.
It's so weird because now when I'm playing games with my friends, it feels like Smosh sometimes, and I'm like, wait, this is not who I am on Smosh. I can be a different person with my friends.
Oh, I think I have a jaw drop that I don't think will make your guys' jaw drop, but maybe it'll make fans' jaw drop.
Oh.
It's not that great, but it just made me think of one.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's also made me, working here has made me so good at Quiplash.
oh, stupid
if-
board games.
If we play a
easy.
stupid board game, I'm gonna win.
Also,
I'm gonna, there's not even gonna be competition.
you feel like you go and hang out with I feel like one time I hung out with my friends and we had wine after a Smosh day and I was like, bitch, what are you doing?
Yeah,
You're
oh,
above, and
yeah.
they're like, your
Whoa,
energy
whoa.
is way too high. And I'm like, oh, whoops.
I have a question because I think Smosh has primed me for this. I think I can handle roasts and just shit talking because it's just part of what we do here.
Yeah.
I think if I went to the East Coast to Boston and stuff, I don't think I'd be too phased by just talking to random people.
You would not be phased at all.
They'd throw shit my way, and I'd just be like, oh yeah,
In
cool.
fact, I think that you would enjoy Boston because I think what people don't understand, every time I bring H there, he's like, I love it here because I feel so seen. Because I think what people get confused is Boston people are just direct.
Yeah.
They cut through all the passive aggressive shit and they're just very direct. And Boston people actually say hi and smile on the street. Whereas in California and LA, nobody says hi or smiles. Whereas
No.
Boston, they're like, hey, how you doing? They actually are really fucking kind and loving. They're just very direct. So in a way, it's like, wow, I can't believe you said that. But I love it because I'm like, at least I don't have to wonder. Or at least I
True.
don't have to sit in that weird passive aggressive silence.
Yeah.
I actually think that you would really like Boston, but I think that you'd be a little stunned in the beginning. You'd be like,
Oh,
because the bartender
shit.
doesn't give a if he's making your day. He's like, what do you want? What can I get for you?
See, but I like a bartender like that.
Two. And then
I don't want a bartender to be.
And then the moment they realize you're in, they're like, okay, he can handle my shit talking. Let me tell you about this very fancy place. Do you want to come over? I can give you a ride. They'll give you whatever you need.
Cool.
It's like this.
That's not me. That's not for me.
You don't like?
That's not for me. No, because I have my field's up, my wall's up. I'm kind of like that. And I'm from Nashville, where you talk to anyone for any reason. You smile and, hey, how you doing? And, you're talking to anyone. But I don't like that.
You don't like what?
I don't like the now that you can handle my shit talk. You want to ride home? I'll do this. Whoa. Give me my drink. I'll drink it. That's all.
And you
I
know
need.
what? If you acted like that, they'd be like, fine.
Oh, but
They
see, I
don't
would
care.
never say that because that's rude. I'm just like, can you just leave me to my own
Oh,
devices?
tough.
I'll leave your walls. I'm not touching your walls.
That's
You
a
don't
good-
touch my walls.
That's a good question of what states in the U.S. are the polar opposites in a way that if you go from living in one state and move to another, you're gonna have the hardest time. Because some states you probably could transfer over. pretty
Honestly, when I
easily.
moved to California, I struggled really hard.
Yeah.
I was like, everyone walks so fucking slow in the grocery store. I'm like, move. Hello. Move your body. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to be like, you need to move your body. In Trader Joe's, they're just like,
people.
I'm just like,
No,
move your
100%.
fucking body. And also drive like you have a purpose. Why are you driving just for drive?
What?
You have somewhere to
Aw.
go.
I don't know if I agree.
Aw.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like LA drivers absolutely know where they want to go when
No,
they're
they're
driving.
terrible.
I think they are slower, but it's kind of
Slow?
it's kind of-
LA drivers are slow?
I feel like
Not-
compared
not
to
as
Boston,
aggressive.
Boston's like, and you're just like, okay, but at least it's like, well, you had somewhere to go. Whereas LA, they're just like, I'm turning here, and I'm gonna turn here, and what do we want for dinner? I've gotten used
that's
to
kind
it.
of the whole vibe of LA, though. In general, like that's also the
I've
mindset
gotten
of everyone.
used to it, but it was really hard for me in the first year where everything was go, 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 go.
You gotta lay
Interesting.
back. You gotta chill, man.
very
Yeah,
hard.
dude. It's the beach.
Bro.
I do agree though about the grocery store. I've noticed I have bad luck, and maybe maybe it's just how people are, of people being so unaware of their surroundings that you'll be walking and someone will be in front of you and they'll just kind of stop
Yep.
and they're just kind of like
Yeah.
looking around and you're like,
Yep.
I know when someone's behind me. I'm like, do I just have like a spider sense that
No.
most people don't have? But I'm like, why are people just stopping? And what I have really bad luck with is when I'm on an escalator and someone's in front of you on the escalator, they get off the escalator and then they just stop
You don't move to the side.
and they just kind of look around and you're like,
Yeah.
what the f-?
Go.
That's every day.
I want to at my worst moments, I want to then somersault down the escalator and
Oh.
just knock them over like a
Ow.
rolling
Like a
pin.
That would hurt your head.
I would hurt myself in the process of getting my
You'd
frustrations
be
out.
fine in Boston.
But when people just stop, I'm like, why are you stopping?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Why are you stopping?
Why are you stopping?
I also feel like states versus states is weather. Like someone from California going to,
That's true. They don't have to
East
hurry.
Coast.
There's no
That's-
rain coming. There's no
That's-
rain coming.
Of
bitch.
course.
and it's just like,
It's not cold outside. Why
There's
do I have to
nothing that's
hurry?
going to happen in California.
well,
Hardly anything ever. I mean,
Minus
this year.
mudslides.
Okay, well, this year we had actually so much fucking
Did
rain.
have so much
But
rain.
we had more rain this year than we've had in like the last 15 years that I've
Yeah.
lived here.
Like, yeah.
I'm used to in LA the weather being the same
Yeah.
all year
Yeah.
round. It's hot and then it's not hot. It's never anything other than that.
I would say the one time the weather like really got me like, oh, this year
May.
was in May. And I know that rain is a potential, but our like 3 days before our wedding, they were like, oh, it's going to downpour on your day. And we were getting married at noon. And I was like, the thing is, when you plan your own wedding, you do not think about weather. It's the last thing on your thing.
Sure.
And then
Because you can't control it.
you can't control it. And I was like, I love rain. Why? I hate that I'm getting upset about rain. And it made me go into this whole psychological bullshit about weddings and like, this. It's too much pressure for one day. So I let it go. I was like, you know what? If it rains, great, fine, whatever. And the night before, we had a rehearsal dinner on the beach and it downpoured. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened because H got one little tent and the entire party, which was smaller, was all under a tent, dancing to Beyonce, dancing to
Boom.
music, and just having the best time ever.
There you
And
go.
that was the night before the wedding. And it was like
And-
so connecting.
And then the wedding day,
The
it
wedding
didn't
day?
rain.
Was stunning.
You got the rain.
After
out of
the
way.
rain,
Yeah.
it was stunning. It had just rained. Everything was bright green. And then H last minute got like a white carpet thing, which made it just shine and shimmer. So it literally looked like everyone was shining with like light. It
So
was the
cool.
best
They
thing
probably
ever.
were.
They were shining.
Everyone was shining.
So yeah, weather.
No.
We're talking about weather on the podcast.
Weather.
No.
Weather.
But it does affect you.
I'm just thinking about this year and like I definitely feel like this year was like a rebirth year for a lot of people. Like
Oh,
it felt like it
sure.
was like death, rebirth, like major.
People have talked about it
splits.
being like the end of and I know like it's not necessarily over, but it feels like a blip. Like it feels like this year was when we awakened from lockdown in March of 2020.
You're right.
Yes.
Like it's
You're
just
right.
like, oh, time feels like it's moving forward again.
Yeah.
and rapidly.
Rapidly.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, and I do feel like I look back and I'm like, did I grow from 2020 to 2022? And I'm like, I don't know, but I do feel like I've grown this year. And
Oh, I grew.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm ready to date now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been ready to date this whole year.
Have you been have you just not been, or have you?
No, I've been trying, Shayne. I've been out here trying.
What's like the biggest thing that you feel like, if you could say like one word, like what's the biggest thing that you're like, ooh, I learned this? Mine is boundaries.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh.
that might be mine too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good. Boundaries.
Walls.
You learned walls?
Same thing.
Well,
Same thing.
yeah.
I think me, it's a little bit of acceptance and humility of like or just
Okay, you get one word, Shayne.
I know.
Pick.
I think
We went without one word.
I think less. Like I think the beginning of the year and why I did stick to a lot of things longer was because I was like a lot of years my resolutions are like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and it's like big, I think big. And this year I went small and I'm like I can just do a little thing every day. I'm not going to
I think acceptance.
I think acceptance is a little bit of just like, hey, I can't do everything that I want or that I expect of myself. And I think it's also been a giving up. I think this show has helped me with this too. And we've had a lot of episodes geared towards this of like a lot of my goals and a lot of what I think I want out of life are like, oh, I should be this, or I should be able to do this, or I should do that thing. And it's not coming from a place of like desire and fun and want. It's from like, oh, I should be able to do that. Like, and it's a more societal view, and it's egotistical in a way. And I think something that has been like an underlying theme on this show is motivating people to do the things they want to do. Like allowing, like, what is your real passion in life? And part of that is also like, do I really want this thing? And like a lot of it has been letting go of things and going, oh, I actually don't know if I want that enough. But I think I'm so conditioned, and I don't know by what. I don't know if it's where I live. I don't know if it's being in this entertainment industry or being a dude or whatever has conditioned me to go, you should want more. You should be doing more, and you should be working harder. And at a certain point, I go, wait, I should take things off my plate.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's no way that you can follow your passions or your happy moments
If you're depleted.
If you're depleted, and you have way too much on your plate. It's like someone being like, hey, last minute thing, do you want to go out and explore or go see a show or whatever?
Ugh.
And you have 100 things on your list,
I'm
or you're
so
exhausted.
bad at saying no.
I used to be really bad, and I've gotten better. Are you still bad?
Boundaries.
I'm so much better because of boundaries, and I'm like, I even sometimes I'll be like yes earlier in the day, and then when I get done here, I'll have to be like,
No.
I am so sorry. That was a previous Chance that sent that text. He no longer feels this way. Like he needs to sleep.
We also have to remember, like, in order to keep up stamina in our job, in our work that is very connected to people and community and entertainment, it's so important for us to set a boundary with social situations so we can recharge. At least for me. Like, and I think what I'm going to try to do in the next year is not set up these aggressive goals for myself. Instead, try to keep it more open-ended, because I could have never planned where this year was going to go. So trying to keep it more open-ended in the fact that, like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to do my best in those moments when I can rest. I'm going to rest because I know good things are coming.
Yeah.
You know?
Gifting yourself something.
Yeah, good things, wild things, hard things.
It makes me also think something to be completely transparent with our audience. As of recording this right now, and we've been recording things kind of in advance. We do that towards the end of the year because we, leading up to the holidays, we try to take a break. We have filmed so much shit I am not kidding. I think I have filmed, like, we've been filming videos every day for over a month.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. More than a month.
Like, I don't know. I can't calculate.
If we're not filming, we're planning and organizing and getting ready to film, or we're having meetings about what we're going to film.
Right, but even those days are few and far between lately. I think we've truly been filming
so
stuff.
much.
I have been on camera every day for like a month. I mean, truly, and there's been because now we've been on sketches on the main channel. I don't know if they're
on the main
I don't know if they're
channel.
out by the time this airs or not, but we've got those. We've got
Smosh Mouth.
the whole Smosh Mouth stuff all the time, and we've got tons of Pit and games
Tons of
video
Pit and
outside
games.
of that. It's been so much, and all of that at the same time. We were leading up to the live show. We were doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been insane, and I reached points, and it was really tough for me because I felt like a failure. But I reached points where I was like, I need to ask for help more, and I need to delegate more, and I need to accept that I'm like, oh, I don't have the time.
That is a healthy thing,
And,
and
like,
that is what people in power
That's boundaries.
do.
Yeah,
Need
and-
to do, have to do.
And
Yes.
You can't do everything yourself.
Kiana and Selena have helped me out a ton
Yep.
with this because we record this, but we also we try to pre-produce like what are we going to talk about on these episodes, and we're trying to get farther ahead on that. And also once we film them, we need to give notes on the edit and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, I actually do not have an hour this week to review it. It's like,
And we do all that work so that when we're here, we're just relaxing. Like when
Yeah.
we're here, we're able to just talk and chat and connect. It's like we do all this prep work.
but we're towards I feel like we're coming towards. I feel like I see the finish line now.
Yeah.
Because we still have a bunch of stuff to shoot. As of recording this, we still have more stuff to shoot, but it's getting close to the end.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can picture that, I can see that, and I can have fun.
2023 has just been a wild year.
It has been a wild
It
year.
has been a wild year. And also, it's been wild not just in our lives, it's been wild on the internet.
Oh my God.
I mean, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. They are together,
How are you
I
starting
guess.
with that? How are you
I mean, they're
starting with
together,
that?
I guess. I don't know why, but I secretly think
best-
someone's paying him to be with her. Is that weird?
Why do you
No,
think that?
that's
It
not.
feels, I don't
think-
know.
You don't think it's real? Look, if you want to end 2023 with that hot take, that's fine.
My hot take is that their relationship is really helping out his career and his brother's podcast, and I think I have a hot take.
But
that-
listen, if they like each
They
other,
both have won Super Bowls.
Right.
listen. I bet they really like each other. Okay, that was just my little fun hot
I,
take.
So, like she gets to like be with someone that she like. Maybe it is just a publicity stunt, but if she
Have you
likes
seen-
spending time with him, she likes spending time.
true.
Have you seen his tweets? Have you heard about this?
No.
Oh my God. Travis Kelce's had, this is weeks old by the time this is airing. He's had a bunch of resurfaced tweets from like 2009 to 2012, and the dude is he's just a vibe. The dude literally has a tweet where he's just like, yo, I just gave a squirrel a whole piece of bread and he f***ing crushed it. This guy is crazy, haha. Like that's the type of tweets that he was tweeting. Or he'd be like, nap time, all caps. This is from like 2010. Like this guy was truly just like, he's just a dude.
This is when
He's
tweets-
he's a Ken. Like he's full on Ken energy.
Okay.
And so people are like, wow, he's just some guy.
He's just Ken.
Truly.
Everyone's just some.
Yeah, he's just like hanging out.
Wow.
No, I actually look as a fan of football, and I like Taylor's music. I believe in it.
Okay.
But maybe by the time we air this, does 2023 end with them breaking up?
I don't know.
That'd be so sad.
I don't know.
They are probably the biggest couple of 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Jaded Pinkett Smith, who won't stop
God.
interviewing about
Enough.
who she used to
My
date.
Uber last night was
God
playing a
damn.
Jada Pinkett Smith interview in my Uber, and I was like, "What? Why are we playing
Enough
this?"
with
baby?
her interviews.
Enough with
Did
her
you also
interviews.
hear that she dated Tupac?
Yeah, she's like, "It was the love of my life."
I gotta be honest. Look, she makes the headlines.
But
She
nobody
makes the
wants
headlines.
them.
I know.
How does she profit off of this?
I feel like people
she
watch
has a
the
show.
I feel like people
Oh,
watch
she
the
has a
show.
show.
I
Red
feel like,
Table.
I feel like I gotta be honest. It reminds me of like when we've made up segments. You know when we say blatant lies
Yes.
and we
She's like,
just say insane
Yeah, I
shit.
used to date Tupac.
It's just like she just will say the craziest thing. Every headline I see that has Jada Pinkett Smith in it is always the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. And then I'm like, all right, I'm not going to listen to the show, but it makes me for a second I go,
So true.
well, I should hear more about this.
Yeah, so
I mean, maybe none of it's real. What if the whole thing is fake?
Good for her.
I sometimes believe that with celebrities. I'm sometimes like, I don't believe a single
Yeah.
thing. It's all an
Yeah.
act.
What's
It's
the
all a
slap
character.
fake?
What if it's
Yeah.
all a character? I don't know, but no, the slap was
Oh,
not fake.
Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello.
Are they still together?
No, they broke up
he has
this year.
He has a new
Oh.
girlfriend.
He has a new girlfriend.
Yeah, I saw pictures of them on the beach via people.com.
That's insane.
You go to people.com?
Here's a little dirty little
Amanda, do
secret.
Ew.
Here's my
Amanda.
jaw drop. Should I just do it earlier?
Ew.
I have a
No.
jaw drop.
Okay.
I am subscribed to
Oh.
people.com.
Oh.
I am disgusting.
Oh.
And I get their emails,
Oh my God.
and I will go on
Oh my God.
people.com and read all the
Oh.
top headlines, and I don't know why, because I get mad almost every time I click it, but I can't stop.
Amanda.
I'm addicted.
Amanda.
I am addicted. And you know what? Meghan and Harry, Meghan's not going back. She's not going back. She's done with the royals for good.
Okay.
Did you know that?
Can we get?
Did you know that Meghan is done?
We need assistance.
Did you
on
know?
set.
I can tell you all about it. And
Yeah.
did you know that Oprah found the best Amazon Prime deals for Christmas? Did you know that? Well, she did.
This is awful. This is the
That was-
worst. This is
that
this
is
is
the worst
That's
3
my
minutes
jaw
of my
drop.
life.
this is the lowest point
Yeah,
of my
jaws
2023.
dropped.
You
My
actively type
standards
in.
of you have
You
dropped.
go
My
to the
belief
search
in you
bar
has
and you
dropped.
type in
Oh,
people.com.
no, I don't go to the search bar. It comes through my mail.
Stop! Don't
It
pull it
comes-
up right now.
It
No,
comes through
don't.
my email.
We don't want to see
People
that.
News
Stop.
alert.
Oh,
People, Hulk Hogan's son was arrested.
Hulk Hogan.
Amanda.
Kate Middleton's dance moves goes viral on TikTok.
Enough.
God.
The dancing
Enough.
queen. Travis Kelce, who's all on my page, talks the scrutiny of dating Taylor Swift. He says he's not running away from any of it. Fail.
He's running into the end zone. No, Amanda, this is
Guys.
Awful.
actually the worst thing I've ever learned about anyone.
I think I agree.
I really am.
Guys, it's pretty fun. I get to see pictures of Austin Butler and Kaya Gerber walk hand in hand in New York City.
And who?
okay.
Cindy Crawford's daughter.
Why do what kind of joy does this bring you? You said it frustrates you.
It-
Get a Twitter. You don't have a Twitter.
It makes me feel it's fun. Okay? It's a mom thing that I want to do.
Okay.
All right? It's like reading the Star magazine but worse.
It's way worse.
It's way worse than the Star?
I don't know what the Star is, honestly.
No, well, you haven't lived. You haven't gone to Gelson's.
When was the last time you bought a People magazine?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
Because I don't want any evidence.
Okay, thank
It has
God.
to be on my phone, and then I
No,
quickly
the evidence
it
that
quickly
you're
goes
just
away.
putting out
Right.
there on the internet.
Right.
Well, Hulk
You
Hogan's
told-
son was arrested. You're welcome.
You're telling
Thank you.
hundreds of thousands of people this information.
Also for
Amanda.
what?
No, I don't. I'm too
Okay.
nervous.
Sorry.
that it's bad.
This is
Don't
how they get
wanna
you. This is how they
know.
get you.
See, I
oh,
I don't wanna
are you
know.
interested?
No.
If you
Don't
want a
wanna-
subscription.
I'm not interested.
Let
I've
me
never been
know.
less interested.
Well, you know.
On the other hand,
On the other hand,
I've read many books this year.
well, good.
What
books?
What was a good one?
I could pull it up. I could list. I have a. I
Make
have
me
a
believe
Google
that this is
I
more
have a-
exciting than people.com.
I have a Google sheet of all the books. I haven't updated it, but a Google sheet of books, movies, and TV shows. That I
You
was trying
write
to keep. I was trying to.
all your
Okay. Let me
Whoa.
Google
let me
sheet
explain.
all your
Okay.
consumed.
I told Kiana that I was like, another one of my goals this year that I didn't really. I mean, I did a little bit, was to get better at Google Sheets. I'm very insecure about my technical prowess, especially when it comes to
Oh.
like things that are more business savvy. And here at Smosh, we really like Google Sheets. We use them for a lot of
love-
planning and stuff. But I have all my books that I read this year. I am at. I'm trying to think. There's some that I haven't added, so I think I could. By this point when this is airing, I might have reached about 30 books this year.
Wow.
It's pretty good. Some of them are pretty big books. I read a book called She Who Became the Sun. That's a good fantasy historical
You read
fiction.
Song of Achilles?
I didn't read that this year, but I've read that
Oh,
book.
I want to
Love that
read
book.
that.
I read it.
Was it
this
good?
year. Yeah, it was
Because
incredible.
I read
it's-
Cersei. Loved Cersei.
Those
Oh, I
that's
started
that's
to-
one of my favorite authors, Madeline
It's from
Miller.
Boston, Mass.
Okay.
Oh, now I'm gonna picture them all with Boston accents.
No,
No.
God, no.
Oh God.
Keep going.
I'm just gonna say some like standouts from this year. I'm not gonna say every single one.
Stuart Little.
Stuart. I read Stuart Little. One of my favorite books this year it's called Piranesi by Susanna Clark.
Pira what?
Piranesi
Okay.
or Piranesi. I don't know, but it's very cool.
Persephone?
No. But really good book. Highly recommend that. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
By Gabrielle Zevin. That could be number one. That book is unbelievable.
Ooh.
So good. I finished the 3-Body Problem series. So I read the last book is called Death's End. That's incredible sci-fi series that's now I think gonna be on Netflix. By
Wow.
this point. But that book was really cool, very weird. Read a lot of Berserk, which is a manga.
Wow.
Mm.
Yes.
Amanda, I know you're a big fan of those.
I am.
You love mangas.
Big time.
Yeah.
Love it.
What's your favorite manga?
Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Mhm.
Yeah, the fans are gonna love that you just said that.
Your mouth.
You know what I want to do?
So I'm people.com. Shayne is books.
Yeah.
And Chanse is.
I'm going to pick my favorite movie from this year.
Oh, that's pretty
what's your
good.
favorite movie that you
Let me
consumed?
see.
Oh, and lastly, I'll say Babel by R.F. Kuang is a really great book.
Ooh.
If you
that-
don't
that-
have
that
the AMC.
Oh, and I have my movies here too. I have I gotta say, I think by this point I can safely say I think Barbie was my favorite movie of the year. And that was another thing this year. Barbenheimer was crazy, dude.
Barbenheimer. I think
couldn't-
that
I didn't
couple will
talk-
last.
I was afraid. I made a couple jokes, but I overall avoided trying to talk too much about current movies and TV shows during the strike.
Yeah, me too.
Which was tough, you know.
Even though I was
Um,
dressed as the nun for
I just want to
Halloween.
make fun of movies sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to promote them. I just want to make fun of them. But Barbenheimer was huge, and I did go see
Okay.
Barbie and Oppenheimer opening weeks.
Oh, I didn't see them opening weeks, but I saw.
Not
them.
opening week. I saw Oppenheimer the following week.
Wow.
I saw Barbie first and then Oppenheimer.
So what's your biggest thing that you consumed this year?
My biggest thing.
Or biggest
Movies.
movie?
Uh,
Top.
My favorite movie. This is crazy.
Okay.
Besides Across the Spider-Verse, because I'm.
That
privy to
movie
that.
rocked too.
It was spectacular. I'm gonna go with Megan.
Wow.
Oh, I kind of
I respect that.
I kind of have to side
Phenomenal.
with you on that. I thought it was so good.
It was so
Very
unique.
fun.
It was very
Mhm.
I
I have a better movie though that I thought.
Okay.
I have a- I have a-
just
But
saw.
keep going.
I just saw Saltburn as well.
Ooh, I really want to see that.
Woo!
Oh.
I was like,
So it was the
woo.
woman who wrote Emerald. She wrote Emerald Chanel. She wrote Promising Young Woman, and she won an
Oh,
Oscar for it. And
Jesus.
she was literally filming The Crown and pregnant when she accepted that Oscar. Or no, she was filming The Crown when she did Promising Young Woman and accepted the Oscar when she was pregnant
That movie's
And
rough.
and did Saltburn.
yeah.
How was Saltburn?
It was really, really insane, and I loved it.
Okay, insane.
Yeah. I
Mm.
just didn't know. I kind of knew where it was going, but I didn't know where it was going. That's all I'll say about that.
And then the other what was the one you just said? I'm sorry.
Megan.
Megan. Yeah.
So
See, the
good.
movie that I think is number 2 for me.
Talk to me.
Talk to me, dude.
I agree.
That Talk to Me
Mm.
was I thought was so original and
I
so
loved
cool.
Talk to Me.
I was a big fan.
I didn't see it.
I was just a big
I don't
fan
like
of
horror movies.
You don't like horror
Oh,
movies?
yeah.
Well, I guess Megan was not really a horror
No,
movie.
Megan felt more like a thrill. It felt like fun. It was campy.
It was
Talk to
campy,
Me is a
super
great
campy.
horror movie. And then, those blockbuster horror movies, The Nun 2, The
See, I can't-
Exorcist.
Those are the horror movies that I'm not really too
Blockbuster
gunning
ones.
for.
Oh,
I'm
they're
not
so
like
fun.
I'm not like a horror movie person, but there's occasionally I think it's like A24 horror movies that
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, hell yeah.
Artsy.
Because it's artsy and it's weird and they're often like a very original. I'm like, I don't want to know what's gonna scare me necessarily.
Yeah.
You know, when I see like The Nun 2 and I'm like, okay, that thing's gonna jump out at me for 2 hours. Nah.
Ugh.
But Talk to Me, I was like, I don't know what this is.
I really like Talk to Me. I will say I did see Killers of the Flower Moon, and I know it's like 4 hours long, but I was really, really into it because I thought the story was really in depth, really good, also heartbreaking. But I really enjoyed, what Martin Scorsese had to say about art during the strike, and I really enjoyed just the time and energy that was spent on that film.
Yeah.
Like the research, all those extras are actually, from the indigenous tribe. Like I actually enjoyed that part about the movie. I just don't understand why movies need to be so long. Like We can.
Not
don't
all
mind it.
movies. Not
I
all
don't mind
movies
it.
are. I mean, I
I
think
struggle with really long movies. I think that we need like an intermission.
Sure. If it's 3 hours.
I think an
This
intermission
was
is
3
fine.
hours and 45 minutes. Pretty
Oh
positive.
my God.
No, yeah, it was almost 4
Yeah,
hours.
I think that's fair because movies used to be longer, but they would have an intermission. I think movies are. I just
Or
think
just put the toilet in my seat.
yeah.
Put the
Oh,
toilet in your
Would you
seat.
go if there was a
No.
movie theater that was all toilets?
Could you imagine that someone's just like,
Welcome to the Arc-Shite Theater.
could you imagine? It's just like, how dare you, and it's like,
Dude, can you stop? Can you stop?
who's farting?
Oh, what? So they have toilets so I can't shit right here?
It's not a fart if I'm shitting.
And then you, and then you flush.
They're just flushing.
Thing about the pod is we always go to farts. We always land on farts and poops.
Oh, I need to get the fart machine back. The
You
fart
know-
machine was entirely just this year.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was also.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
A
Haven't
feat.
seen it.
A feat. It was.
Yeah.
It's in the same style as Across the Spider-Verse into the
Shit
Spider-Verse.
was good this year. I will admit.
It was also bad.
This was the year. This was the year where I think I finally hit my Marvel Star Wars.
That's what I was
burnout.
just thinking.
Oh,
I hit my point.
done.
And I was
Abysmal.
I was committed to it. I wouldn't say that I was like a super fan.
It was.
But I was committed. I love a connected story. And whenever there's like, oh, do you need this to back up that information? I'm a big fan of that.
It takes
with shows and
teamwork.
stuff. But it hit the point where I was like, okay,
just over it, dude.
this is not enticing
So
anymore.
bad.
It's
Because
so
it didn't feel
over
like
it.
it was
exhausting.
It felt like it stopped being original, and it started to feel like I compared it to like Law and Order or CSI, where I'm just like, all right, this is just feeling like watching an episode of a show where it's not going to build upon itself, and it's just
What's
kind
that
of
called
not
again?
going anywhere. Episodic?
Procedural.
What
It
I
started
will
feeling too
say-
procedural to me, and I was like, I don't care anymore.
What I will say is that Loki season 2 had me by the balls.
Really?
Oh,
Because
I
actually
haven't
thought
watched it yet.
I thought Loki season 2 was good, but I thought it was a little
It got.
slow.
It was a little slow.
Okay.
It was a little slow, and
I still
even in
appreciated
episode
it.
4, I'm like, okay,
I still appreciate
are we gonna
it,
get
though.
to it? And then when we got to the last episode, I was like, okay, payoff, great, got
Payoff
it,
was good.
got it.
Oh, just makes me think of another movie that I really liked from this year, and I think this is what I'm eager for is more just original shit or just a new thing.
Okay.
Is the Dungeons and Dragons movie? I thought
was so
I thought
fun.
it rocked.
Yeah,
I
it
was
did
just
rock.
like hell yeah,
that movie
man.
was
And
good.
I'm also down. I think we're also at the end of the phase that's been going on for like 10 to 15 years of like I don't need to see dark gritty shit anymore. I'm down for some happy
Yep.
happy ending stories, and Dungeons and Dragons I was like hell yeah.
I totally disagree.
Silly
I love, Give me
fun.
dark, give me gritty.
Dude, like I was
I like when you have both because you don't know which one you're gonna get.
I was a diehard Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad fan, but I think like
Yes,
I got
I
that for
agree.
so long that I'm like, okay,
I agree.
I'm down for some just fun.
Yep.
Like Barbie felt like that. I was like, it's fun.
Also, I'm down for some romance. Where
I
is
know,
the
dude.
romance?
Where is the romance?
There's like no, they did Lady Chatterley's Lover on Netflix, and it was a bust because their chemistry was just off. Do you guys know that movie? Probably not.
I've read the book.
It's their third round of the movie, and it's a very sexy, wonderful movie. And I'm like, where is the romance? Anyways, so you guys know my jaw drop. My jaw drop was people.com.
That is an insane fucking fact.
So as an end segment to this, I want to hear your guys' jaw drop to a wild year of 2023.
My jaw drop was at VidCon, and
Tea?
a little bit of tea. Me and Aaron, there was these decorations
Oh, I know this.
outside of the.
I know this jaw
there were these
drop.
decorations outside of the bar.
Decorations.
They were decorations. One of them happened to be a keg.
That's not a decoration. I mean, it is a decoration, but it's
And
a
so
keg.
me and Keg, me and
Me and Keg.
me and Aaron were like, can we get this keg? Like, can we get this keg? Can we physically get this keg? Because like everything was like up for grabs, kind of, sort of. It was kind of like
No, it wasn't.
it was if you were a feature creator. If you wanted something,
No.
it was like well.
We're stealing the bar stools. Let's go.
We didn't-
Let me make it clear. VidCon does not have the rule of featured creators can
no,
steal
no,
stuff.
no. I'm not stealing anything. And but we did borrow a keg. For a minute, we named it. We took care of it. We took great care of it, and we put it back where we got it
Okay,
from.
that's funny.
See?
It's funny to me
See?
if you put it back.
We didn't
right
steal
where
You
shit.
didn't know this?
I knew it. I didn't know that you put it back.
Oh,
that
yeah.
makes it funny.
They babysat it for a
I
second.
remember when you guys had it, and I was like,
Oh, it spent the
"Come
night in our
on."
room. It spent the night.
I was like, "What? Oh,
we
this
named
is...
him Jacoby
Now I
Keg.
knew it was something.
Wait, you named him what?
Jacoby Keg Michael Myers.
That's so.
Oh
stupid.
my god.
I will say, looking at this keg, I was like, nobody's missing this.
No.
Like
It
it's
was
a
decoration.
it's a decoration that they absolutely threw away.
It was.
as
It was
soon as
empty.
That weekend was over.
100%.
But the fact that you put it back is so funny.
And it was harder to put it back
But you
than
know
it
there
was to
some,
take
You know,
it.
there's some worker who's like, wait, that was gone. No, it's back.
It's bad.
What the hell's going on?
It's just a minor.
They
not
were
even-
they were stoked that it was gone because like, sweet, I don't have to throw that one away.
That's so
Then it
funny.
came back and they're like, God dang it.
That's
So it was
funny.
harder to put back than
Way
it was
harder to
take.
put back because, like, to take it was just like, okay, we're just gonna go. But then to put it back, it's like, wait, why did they just put that? Where did that come from? No one has said anything, but
And no one ever will.
no one ever
Except
will,
for right now.
except for right now.
Jaw drop. Listen, you borrowed it, you babysat it, you gave it a night out,
We did give it, and you know
and
what?
you named it.
It deserved a night out,
And it deserved a night
and now it's
out.
probably in the trash.
And now it's in the trash.
I really wanted to keep it.
Well, that is a jaw drop. Even though I knew about it, it's still a jaw drop.
Still a jaw drop.
This is more a jaw drop for viewers, and maybe for them it won't even make their jaw drop and whatever. I had a game night with friends, with a couple friends recently, and I realized at it because we played like Clue and we played like Uno.
One of my favorite games.
I realized it's the only time this year where I've played board games off camera.
Wow.
But and I realized I hardly play board games outside of here. Like I think in my lifetime, or at least in the past 10 years, I have played like a board game. I think it's like less than 10 times.
That's
outside of
What?
board
I'm a
games.
board game person.
I do love board
games.
games.
Love
It just
board
doesn't
games.
happen that often
That's
in my life.
crazy.
But
Ugh.
like, I've played so many board
Yeah,
games,
yeah, yeah.
but I've played almost all of them on camera here at Smosh.
That's
How
wild.
crazy is that,
That's
right?
crazy.
And I like I said, I love them, but it just doesn't.
I love
It's just
them.
not something. It's just not something that happens that often in my life.
When
That's just
you're-
not what my friends and I do.
I think when you're playing them so much on camera, you don't want to go home and play a board game. But
Exactly.
what's crazy is I love board games so much.
Yeah.
And then when I got here, it changes. It's a different way to play a board game because it's,
Yeah.
we're having fun, but it's, it's for content and it's cameras and it's,
Yeah.
but it's still so fun.
It was so weird playing Clue where I'm not worried about like what I'm saying and stuff. So I actually got to sit there and be like, okay, let me look at this
Try to
really
win
quick.
this
And I was like,
fucking game.
oh, this is weird where I can actually like focus.
Think.
Is it less fun or more fun?
It's a different experience.
Yeah.
It's more fun I get more into the challenge and the puzzle of it. And that's not to say I'm not trying to actually play the game and win when we're playing it here. I absolutely am. But you have more energy and you
Yeah.
got to play it at a faster pace.
Yep.
But and I don't know, it's truly an equal trade-off. But I don't
Wow.
know, maybe we should try to have more game nights outside of work next year.
Jaw drop, baby.
Yeah, that's my jaw drop.
So if we were to attach one word to 2023 and one word to 2024, hopefully, what would it be?
So my walls.
Yours is walls and
Okay, let me think. Grace.
I think that's
Walls and Grace.
I think Grace is
Grace
a good
Wall
one.
sounds like an old 40s.
I'm Grace Walls.
Walls and Grace for Chance.
I think for this year it was acceptance for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think next year what I want it to be is like passion.
Nice.
That's what I want.
I think that's
Ooh,
good.
dangerous.
I think that's
No.
Dangerous.
I know, but also
good.
but the combination with acceptance.
like a Sith.
Yes.
I think that's good.
yes.
Mine would be this year was boundaries, and I think next year, I feel like this year was a very intense year in an amazing way. But I think boundaries for this year and play for next year.
Whoa.
Play for 2024.
Well, that's pretty great.
Yeah,
Um,
that's where I'm at.
Play.
Play.
okay.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Bye, 2023 and everyone else.
Bye.
Do you really think people.com is bad?
It's so bad. I think it's really embarrassing.
But it's so exciting. Do you want to read the other?
I really
No.
don't.